You can hear this? We are at NAMM 25. Hey everybody, Nick Marzak with Full Compass from the NAMM 25 floor. We are at the Hollyland booth. I'm with Randall, the field engineer for Hollyland. That sounds very intelligent.
It sounds intelligent.
All right, let's talk about all the new products because even though this booth is so concise, there's so much to get to. Let's talk about what's new first.
So first new is the Lark M2S. I happen to have one on me. I don't know if you're going to zoom in on it, but it's tiny. It's like the size of my pinky nails, what I keep telling people. So the back end of it is what has the actual guts to send, right? So that's your transmission side. As you see, that's the mic side. The real tiny piece, which is fantastic. You get a case to go along with it that charges it twice over. So the actual transmitter and receivers will last about 10 hours on a single charge, 30 hours total if you charge the whole thing over. And you're charging it through the USB-C. It takes about an hour and a half through the 2 amp, right? Your 2 amp file.
Hour and a half to get 10 hours.
To get your 30 hours total out of this whole thing even, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So I would still say about an hour to charge the actual devices inside of here, if that makes sense too. But yeah, like you just pop this thing on before you go to bed at night and you're good for the day, right? Yeah. So I actually charged 3 of these before I came in today.
And this is not Bluetooth, right? This is a proprietary protocol?
Correct. Still in the 2.4 frequency range, so that's why a lot of people kind of mix that, but it is a different protocol because we use a little less bandwidth because we're just sending audio out, whereas Bluetooth sends a little more, data, things of that nature. So a lot of times people, when they hear Bluetooth, go, you're not getting 1,000 feet of range. Correct, because most times that's a bigger bandwidth, so you have to put a lot more power on it in order to send that far. Because we only stick in like a 10 to 20 megahertz range, it just runs from that, right?
Or 1,000 feet of range.
Yeah, 300 meters for your meter people too. It's fantastic. I love this thing.
And it comes with the little attachment for your phone. So if you're I don't know what application you would be doing like a vlog with your phone and need to be 1,000 feet away, but if you needed to, you could.
Pretty rare. Yeah, I've had some people asking me about putting it on like DJIs flying around as well, which, as long as the mic hooks up. I don't know why you'd want the fan noise. You can tell me that, videographer, but people sometimes do. I don't know. So yeah, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of different uses. Obviously, any live event stuff. We're gonna have a person coming by. He's rolling up now, even with guitar and himself, and we're just gonna mic him up through these two and have a playthrough, right? So it's like easy mic up options, especially interview, especially podcast style. But anybody, I had a person talking about Pastor the other day, right? Trying to get that rocking and rolling. So
I mean, look at the profile of that. That's so little.
it's tiny. So tiny.
So you get the 2 microphones, the receiver, and the phone attachment. What's the map price?
Map price is $139 for that USB-C only. But then if you do need one for the old Apples, because we had the Lightning, you just add $20, $159 to get both style receivers in that case.
That's an insane price. I don't know how you're making money on that.
I'm not personally. They just pay me what we've already agreed to. But yeah, no, I mean, they're flying like hotcakes. It's a great piece.
And speaking of flying off the shelf like hotcakes, let's talk about Pyro. I want to get to Solidcom, but Pyro first.
Pyro, fantastic lineup. So we added a new lineup. Used to have the Mars series, great pieces, but there was specifics to you had to pair to one transmitter specifically. On the Pyro series, we do this group pairing. You have A through I, that if the transmitter's on that, you can take whatever receiver and go to that transmitter specifically. Only have about a 15 to 20 second jump, which is fantastic, and then you're up and running, right? We have a 7-inch monitor as well as the SDI version, which has SDI and HDMI for the camera in case you can't see it. We'll hopefully get some close-ups later. I don't know how you're going to shoot it. Whatever. Either way. So in that case, you get a transmitter receiver. This thing goes for $479 for the pair right now. You get 1,300 feet of range to a single receiver or to 2 receivers and up to 2 applications, your phone, your iPad, whatever else you want to get that way, all through a 5.1 to 5.8 for connection point there. It also does the 2.4 and 5.1 to 5.8. In case it sees the 5.1 to 5.8 getting clogged, it'll move the control down to 2.4, so you got a whole 40 megabits or megahertz to be able to run the video on the 5.1 to 5.8.
You mentioned the phone. There's an app, right, that also coordinates with all of this. So you could be monitoring through your phone through the app.
Correct. Yeah, just the Holly View app. Find it on any of the stores, right, or your Apple Store or Google Play, whatever you go through. And so, yeah, that's a really great piece. It only works in the non-broadcast mode. So there's a broadcast mode on the transmitters on all the SDI and the HDMI, and this turns into a transmitter as well.
So this is the 7, then you have the S that's SDI, and then the H, which is HDMI.
Yeah, HDMI only. Great price point. This is $389 for the pair. And then you can always add up to 4 receivers. That's the broadcast mode. That just cuts your distance in half. So instead of 1,300 feet, you get 650. Like we were talking about the mics earlier, I don't usually need that range, so thank goodness, right? Beauty on the 7s then is when you get to that point. Not only do you have a bunch of different options to do your RGB, Luma, all your different sort of aspect ratios. We added false color now, so that's pretty fun to have on there. You can do anamorphic, and when you do anamorphic, you can do it customized even, so you don't have to have specifics to it, right? Get over here, anamorphic, show me. So I can do customs even and de-squeeze that way if I want to. Anamorphic's all the rage, in case you didn't know. And then you also image overlay, which I'm a big fan of for that consistency in your shot, right? Yep. I need that continuity. Well, the last shot that I took, I got to match that back up. You got an image overlay, you can do it a little opaque, right? Then you can mess with the transparency as well, right? So a lot of good stuff on this. This thing runs right now $549 for a single, $499 for if you get a double pack, right? So $1,000 for the double. Great pieces. NPF charging. You have hard pass-throughs if you need them, or they're just in and out based on whether you're in transmitter or receiver mode. And so also then the Solidcom. The biggest thing on the Solidcom, which I'm wearing on my head, you've already seen these Solidcom C1 Pros. You've been selling the heck out of them. They're great. The thing that we added recently though is these headsets can now pair to a roaming hub. Sorry, it's not as picturesque with the things hanging off of it, but you have the roaming hub back here that has the ability to now connect 20 headsets to a single hub. That hub then goes up to 1,600 feet to those 20 headsets. If you want to interconnect the two with the Cat 5 cable, Cat 6, whichever you got, you can then now make 2 bubbles, whereas our original only held 8 at a time, and you were stuck in that RF range of 1,100 feet. Now I can make 2 1,600-foot bubbles and have 20 people roam in between them, or if I'm only in a 1,600-foot area, I can put 40 in between the two. Now I got 40 headsets for less than 20K. So the hub itself goes for $6K, $5,999. The hub with a 10-pack is $9,189, and then the hub with a 20-pack is $12,179.
These are all types of film sets, broadcast situations, festivals, music festivals. There's so many applications for this. Vlogging, self-tape auditions, like I can't think of enough applications for the Lark, as well as the Pyro Series. Again, if you're an indie filmmaker or even a professional filmmaker has SDI ability, that could be a second monitor for a video village. There are just so many uses for all of these products. As always, go to fullcompass.com, look for Hollyland products, and keep it right here at Full Compass for more coverage from NAMM 25.